Hi everyone, so today we are going to be learning about how to use the sewing machine. So today you're going to be completing something called a sewing machine driving test. The first thing you will need to do is take off your thread from the top. So effectively when it's here, you just gently pull it up. It should then be easy enough for you to just wind it up like that. It should just be able to pull out really carefully. It shouldn't become an issue, but if it gets stuck, please let me know. You should still have a bit of thread coming from the bottom part of your sewing machine. Leave that exactly where it is. You don't need to do anything else with that. You are going to need, on the side of your sewing machine, you should be able to see here that we've got an on-off switch. We have a foot pedal cable and we have an electric cable. So here, your electric cable will need to plug into the sewing machine. In order to do that, you will need to plug this section here into this part. And this one here, which links to the foot pedal, needs to go very gently into this section here. When you have plugged in your sewing machine, you should be able to then turn it on using that button there. You will know it's turned on because it will make a noise and this part here and down here will light up. Okay, so you have a few things to be aware of here. This part here is how fast the sewing machine is going. You will need this on arrow number 1 on a slow speed whilst you are still practicing. You won't need to touch any of the dials up here. That should all be ready for your sewing machine driving test. We shouldn't have any thread through this needle. For your sewing machine driving test, you are doing it separately, so it doesn't actually have any thread in, so you're not going to end up getting into a tangle. You will be stitching on paper. So the reason we stitch on paper is so that we can see your accuracy levels and you can really understand exactly where the sewing machine goes and how to use it. So you will be following some lines that look something a bit like this on your driving test. So the first thing that you will need to do is your paper will need to go underneath the machine. When it's sewed, it's going to go straight along here. So line it up with the first line where you're going to start. You then need to lower something called the presser foot, and that is this bit here. To lower the presser foot, there's a lever here, and that black lever there just needs to be in the down position. Effectively, it clamps that piece of paper down. So can you see how that, if I lift this up, it raises it, and if I put it down again, it lowers it. So your hands are going to be about here and here. They need to be far away from this needle. Only one person should be touching here and the foot pedal at a time. So my hands are going here. With my foot, I am slowly going to press down on the foot pedal. My hands are guiding, they're not pushing. If I'm pushing it, I'm doing it wrong. I don't pull it either. You will see when I'm doing this that the sewing machine will take the piece of paper for you. So slowly pressing with my foot. So this bit here is your presser foot. The foot pedal is on the floor, so don't confuse those two things. Presser foot is this bit, it must be down to sew. Right, when you get to a corner, you might want to use something like this. So this bit here is called a flywheel or a hand wheel. If I move that and twist it, you should be able to see that the needle will raise and lower. You lower your needle into the piece of paper or the fabric to turn the corner. Then lift up the presser foot and it acts as a pivot like that. So it can't go anywhere. It can just turn around in one full circle. Then put the presser foot down when you've lined it up straight where you're going and slowly sew along. So you're going to be doing this literally from the top of your stitching right down to the bottom. Once again, once you get to the corner, use the hand wheel to lower your needle into the piece of paper, lift up the presser foot and twist it round like that, and continue with your sewing when it's in the correct position. If you end up doing one that looks anything like this, you will need to do a lot of lowering your needle into the fabric, so into the paper, sorry. You would go here, lower, here, lower, here, lower, etc. So you'd follow it round as my finger is showing you right now. Okay, if you have something like this where you've got curves, again you'd follow it like this and down to the bottom. I'm going to stop this one now because I want to show you the curved one. So I lift my presser foot up, line up this piece here, straight line, so I'm putting it down first of all, fingers away, so again I'm lowering my presser foot into the paper, lift it up, and with this one I will need to twist it round as I am moving, so this is guiding it round. So when I'm doing this, you can see that my hands should be moving it around like so, to try and follow the line as best as possible. Now, we are all new to using the sewing machines, so it's fine if you make mistakes, but just try and remember as much of these things that I'm telling you as possible. So what you should be able to see is that on the back of my piece, you should be able to see these needle marks where the holes have been made using the sewing machine. Okay, so please just be aware of that, and it's something that we will be trying to complete as accurately as possible, but I'm also there to see how well you understand something. So what will you need to do? You need to work as a pair. The person who is not using the sewing machine does not touch it. You might want to advise, but you must not touch the sewing machine. You must not touch the foot pedal either, so because that's a little bit of a health and safety issue. So just be aware that it is taking it in turns if you are sharing a machine, and if you need help, putting your hand up. When we're using the sewing machines, you need to remain nice and quiet so that we can do the right thing, and also so your teacher can hear if there's any issues as well. Please remember to tie up long hair when you are using the sewing machine, and make sure that you are safe using the machines at all times. Remember that this point here is very dangerous, and it does have the potential to really hurt you. So just be aware that if you're pressing the foot pedal and your finger is in the way of this needle, then it is likely to hurt you. When you have finished using the sewing machine, you will need to turn it off at the side and then at the plug. You will need to take out very gently this foot pedal. You're going to hold the foot pedal in your hand like this and slowly wind it up until it's nice and neat like that, and then that goes away where your teacher asked you to. And the same with the plug socket as well, so hold the plug in your hand and wind it round to put those away.